I don't know what it is. I don't know. It says I got plenty of bars, plenty of Wi-Fi. I don't know. Craziness, you guys. Craziness. I don't know what it is. Um, we'll see. If we'll try to make it as long as we can tonight. And it's just, I don't know. I think it's the Wi-Fi. I don't want to mention it. We'll just see what happens, you guys. We're gonna try this one last time. Look, I'm gonna try to be determined and try this one last time and see what happens. Test, I see you, Esther. We're gonna try this again. We're gonna try this again. And this never happens like when I'm on Zoom, when I'm teaching anything. It's like when I'm on, I don't know. I think it's the streaming. I don't know, but I don't want to jinx it. I don't want to say anything. I don't want to say anything. We're just gonna jump in, we're gonna start talking, and we're gonna see what happens. Okay, you guys? And that's just what we're gonna do. You guys, welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in here. We're gonna figure it out. All the master classes, look, I'm going to talk really quick. All the master classes are down below. The one this week is free. It is Thursday, all about, I'm so happy, Esther, and we're going to figure this out. I'm happy to have you though. The one this week, it's on Thursday. It's absolutely free, all about the distressed market. It's free if you don't know where to jump in, if you want to start investing um, in real estate. We're going to talk about the different foreclosure phases, how to get started, where to find them, how to buy them. Absolutely free. It's this week on Thursday. The link is down below. All the links are down below. And then we're doing an all about bank owned boot camp. Somebody emailed me today and was like, I just want to invest in bank owned properties. Good evening, everybody. Come on in here. So that one is down there. That's next week. Bank owned pre foreclosures, if you're trying to reach out to homeowners who are in foreclosure before they go up for auction, that one is next Tuesday. So we got a whole bunch of master classes coming up. Get in where you fit in. We'll talk a little bit more about it, but I want to kind of jump in, get started while everything is doing good. Welcome everybody. I know I haven't been on here in a while, but I wanted to jump on here, catch up. Let's talk about what's going on in the real estate market. A big auction week was last week in Texas and Georgia. You guys, a lot of these properties are going back to the bank. I had an auction last week and it sold for $1 over. It looked like it was a flip, like an investor had flipped it. The homeowner bought it. She just bought it like last year or maybe 2 years ago and lost it. She lost it. It went up for auction. Opening bid was $49,000. They got it for $49,001. Welcome, you guys. Welcome. Let me do an intro, you guys. I just started talking like y'all know who I am, right? Um, yes, we are all praying for Texas right now, you guys. Absolutely. So, welcome, you guys. I'm Ashley Pickens. If this is your first time here, welcome, welcome. I've been in real estate since 2006 as a real estate agent. I've also been a real estate broker over an entire firm of agents. And then probably about 8 years ago now, I started auctioning off foreclosures for the bank. So I am the person that says going once, going twice, sold at the courthouse. So I'm at the courthouse here in Memphis, parts of Mississippi, all the way to like Nashville. So I'm your auction mama. So when I started doing auctions, you guys, I didn't know that much about auctions. You always hear like, they auction off properties at the courthouse. Like that's something you always hear. But I never knew like what properties, how do you pay for them? What time is the auction? What properties are going up for auction? You know what I mean? You just knew that they did, but you didn't know the details about it. So once I started auctioning, I started making videos to share with everybody what's going on at the auction and to teach you how to bid and all that kind of stuff. And I became your auction mama, right? And so here we are. And I just try to teach you basically everything I know. So in case you want to get into investing, I specialize in the distressed market, right? That is my jam. I worked with first time homeowners for a long time, for many years. And then I've kind of made my way back over to the investment side, right? I love the distressed real estate side. That's foreclosures, that's short sales, that's bank owned properties. That's my jam, right? That is what I enjoy doing. So welcome, you guys. That's a little bit about me from Southern California. I see you, Coach Jay. Welcome. Houston, Texas. Welcome, everybody. So, like I said, next week, the next couple weeks, we have a whole bunch of master classes. The links are down below in the description. This week's is Thursday. It's absolutely free. We're going to talk about pre foreclosures, auctions, and bank owned properties. You're going to get in where you fit in. I'm going to teach you where to find them, how to buy them, how to do your due diligence, all of that, you guys. Have any of y'all ever been to my master classes before? Who's been, you guys? Y'all learn so much because I give so much. I'm here. Look, I try to teach y'all because I know y'all don't know. You know what I mean? And then you got to pay like $1,000,000 to learn. So at least I try to teach you. So, you guys, let's talk about what's going on. It's so much going on in real estate. Um, I'm noticing a lot of properties are going back to the bank right now because these opening bids are just too high. Even my friends in Texas, y'all in Texas, Houston, Austin, um, I'm so y'all been to my master classes. Yeah, I try to teach y'all everything. Just pour out my whole brain in the class. Um, a lot of foreclosures are just too new. Like it's a lot of people in foreclosure who just bought in the last 2 and 3 years. The opening bids are just too high at the auction right now. If you're new here, the opening bid at the auction is the loan balance. I always say, let that resonate in your spirit. The opening bid is the loan balance. So if a homeowner just bought the house 2 years ago, they owe that whole loan, right? They owe that entire. So the opening bid is just too high at most of these auctions, and they're just going back to the bank. And you guys, class, if you know me, you guys, what do we call properties that don't sell at the auction and go back to the bank? What do we call those properties? You guys, who's going to say it first? If it doesn't sell at auction and goes back to the bank, boom, I see you, Cynthia, Ray, Keith, that's right. Those are REO properties, right? So we're seeing an increase. I see y'all. Good. Y'all do listen to me. Y'all do listen to me sometimes. It's going to be a lot of REO properties coming back to the bank. I see y'all's answer. Yes. Real estate owned by the bank. So my friend in Texas, she auctions right there in Austin, I think Bell County, right around in that area. And she's always telling me, she was like, she auctioned Tuesday because y'all the first Tuesday of the month in Texas. Um, I know last month she had like 25 properties on her schedule. All of them went back to the bank. None of them sold at auction. So it's going to be a lot of REOs probably coming. Unless, y'all know me, unless these hedge funds start buying the notes, right? And they don't ever make it to us down here, you know. But we'll see. It's going to be a lot of REOs. We'll talk about where to find those. I got a bank owned boot camp is next Thursday. Y'all sign up for it. Jackie from Texas. Will the bank short sale an REO? Will the bank short sale an REO? Ooh. So that's kind of like not an oxymoron, because you know what a short sale is, right? Like, unless you're asking me, will the bank sell for less than what is owed? Yes. But short sales are initiated by the homeowner, right? Banks don't do short sales. As a homeowner, you short sell. You know what I mean? The homeowner is the person who short sales. The bank is the owner of the house, right? They just gonna put it whatever price it is. So if the question is, will a bank take less than what's owed? Yes. Boom. Yes to that question, Keith. Right. But a short sales, homeowners initiate short sales, right? So we're going to see a whole bunch of short sales. I would suggest, if you are an agent, that you go ahead and get certified in short selling. That's what I would suggest, or at least have that up your sleeve to know how to do that, because it's a lot of people upside down, especially in Texas. Georgia, y'all getting hit real hard too. Atlanta, y'all been on the list. I'm going to show some information. We'll go through some articles. Are REOs listed on Zillow, Realtor, etc.? How do you see who's selling the house? So I think on Zillow, you can filter it by bank owned, right? I know on Redfin, you can filter it by bank owned. I'll share some sites with you if we want to. Just remind me of that about where to find bank owned properties. And I always tell y'all there might not be on any on there right now, but bookmark it and come back and just check with it. But once the bank gets the property, they will negotiate. Absolutely, Red. Absolutely. That's what I tell y'all. If you are bidding on a bank owned property, negotiate. The bank will negotiate. What do I say? When I'm negotiating, we play in limbo. How low can you go? Right? It's the bank, y'all. You don't need to have any feelings about if they're gonna take a loss. It's the bank. It don't matter. That has nothing to do with you. You get it at the best price you can get it at because a lot of these people are upside down. If you're a buyer looking for a house right now, I just did a whole video on this. A lot of these states, like I said, a lot of these people are underwater. Louisiana, 1 in every 10 properties is underwater, upside down. Y'all know what upside down means, right? So you need to negotiate if you're thinking about buying a house so you're not upside down next week, okay? So if you're out there negotiating buyers, you need to negotiate, okay? I don't care what that list price says. Negotiate. Yes, that's right. That 5 cents on the dollar, my $22.39 beach house, right? With my high flood insurance that I'm gonna have to get. Yes, the banks will absolutely negotiate and they're gonna do price reductions. The banks, they in business to make money. They're not trying to hold on to these houses, you guys. So if you're making offers on REOs, negotiate, okay? Atlanta has been burnt toast for over a year. The high-end homes have days of market. All these houses, let's find some articles and let's hope the Wi-Fi stays strong. Everybody's saying good vibes. There's so many interesting articles coming out right now that we'll go through and talk about. Again, if you're just coming in, all the masterclass links are down below. Get in where you fit in. I got 3 coming up. Okay. So would you wait the market out for a couple of months at this point? The economy is iffy and folks are losing jobs, Section 8 cuts. I need things to settle. Cynthia, I think it definitely depends on where you live. If you're not in a hurry to buy a house, you know what I mean? I would definitely, I don't know. The market is doing this right now, right? You don't want to be the one to catch a falling knife. You know what I mean? The market is doing this. You buy the house and then you're going to be upside down next week, right? So, I would definitely negotiate if I had to buy a house right now, right? It's a buyer's market. It has changed in a lot of these places where it's definitely a buyer's market. That means inventory is high, buyers are few, right? So supply is high and the demand just isn't there. So buyers have different options. They can negotiate, and that's what you need to do. You need to negotiate right now, okay? And if sellers are still delusional, then you find you another house, okay? That's what you do. But a lot of these, what I'm thinking about, a lot of sellers, because I had a client make an offer on a house, and of course, I'm always going to do the research. I'm going to see what they paid for it. I'm going to calculate. That's just me, right? A lot of these sellers can't negotiate down, right? Or they're going to have to short sale, right? Do you understand what I'm saying? It's unless you've been in a house for a long time and you've got some equity, then you can negotiate with the buyer. But if you just bought a house 2, 3, 4 years ago, you might can't lower your price, right? I saw something on TikTok where these people said they just built a house and they're trying to sell it. It's been on the market for a long time. They've had to reduce it and they're taking out a personal loan to cover the difference. Like they're going to have to bring some money to the table when they sell it. But they said them selling this property and taking out the personal loan is still cheaper. Like, and then renting is still cheaper than I guess their mortgage and all the expenses they have with this house. It just makes sense. So, it's bad. I've been getting hit up by outreach. So, if you're in the market to buy, definitely negotiate. I'm in Baltimore. We have so many investors because the city state is trying to get all the vacant off the market, but something tells me the investors are really not going to be able to act. I don't know, you guys. Let's look at some articles. This one article. I'm going to share my screen. Y'all let me know when y'all can see it. Hold on. Share screen, and we're going to hope that this works out without any problems, right? Can we see my screen? Yes, y'all see my screen? Yes. Yeah, days on market are, thank you, Jackie, for blinking. Thank you. Jackie been here with me. Jackie rolling with me. Blink if you can see my screen. um, yeah, houses are, it's a buyer's market, you guys. And y'all know I work with people in foreclosure. So if you're waiting and you know you're behind on your mortgage and the house, today's market is not yesterday's market. You used to put your house on the market, it would sell, right? Now, people are, if you're in foreclosure and you want to hurry up and sell, it's hard to hurry up and sell, right? Um, it's, in that, if you in foreclosure, if you're in a bad position, I don't know, you're going to end up losing your house. Here it is. This is the article. I did a video on this. Some of y'all saw this. It is percent of properties seriously underwater. If you are new here or new to real estate, underwater means, and if you remember 2008, underwater means you basically owe more on your house than it's worth, right? You might be paying on a loan that's 350,000 and your house is only worth 300 or 275. You're upside down. If you were to sell it, you would have to bring money to the table or you would have to short sale. And a lot of people, because I know everybody's like, everybody's got equity. That's what the news says. We all eating pink Starburst and jumping through sunflower fields if you watch the news. And everybody's got equity. Everybody does not have equity. Everybody does not. I promise you, most people do not have equity. Not most, but a lot of people do not have equity, right? So negotiate. So this article, I just want to show. Oh, thanks, you guys. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, Houston, Texas. Look at this. And this will surprise all of you. Top 20 states underwater properties. My state is number 20, Tennessee, you guys. Do y'all see this? 1 in every 32 mortgages are underwater. Georgia is number 19. If this does not tell you to negotiate when you're buying a house, you do not want to buy somebody's headache. You hear me? I don't care what the seller, I don't care. That's not any of your business, right? Well, the seller can't lower the price. Well, the seller put in new carpet. That don't have nothing to do with you. Okay. The seller got 3 kids. That has nothing to do with you and the price that you pay for that house. Okay. Do not inherit somebody's headache, is all I'm saying. Georgia, 1 in every 33 mortgages are underwater. They named the counties: Toombs, Coffee, Upson, and Wayne. Wisconsin, South Dakota, Alabama is number 16. South Carolina's rate for seriously underwater mortgages jumped from 3.3 to 3.8. Rising insurance and tax burdens, 1 in every 27 mortgages. Pennsylvania, Nebraska, Ohio, West Virginia. You guys, I'll drop this article in the chat so you can read this. My point is, negotiate if you're looking for a house, okay? Everybody does not have equity. No, Missouri, 1 in every 21 mortgages. Kansas jumped from 2.9% to 4.7%, the sharpest rise in the country of underwater mortgages. 8, North Dakota. 7, Illinois. 1 in every 21 mortgages are underwater in this state. You guys, the news ain't said nothing about this, have they? If you watch the news, everybody got equity. It's a bidding war everywhere you look. That is not the truth, okay? Oklahoma's number 6. Here's the top 5, you guys. Iowa, top 5. They have 1 in every 18 mortgages. Arkansas, it is a lot of southeast states is what I've noticed, right? Arkansas, Mississippi. Arkansas, 1 in every 17. Mississippi, 1 in every 15 mortgages. Number 2, Kentucky. Let's see, southeast states. 1 in every 14. And boom, you guys, look at that. Louisiana, 1 in every 10% of mortgages are underwater. They went from 11% to 10%. 1 in every 10 mortgages are underwater in Louisiana. Y'all, that is insane. Insane in 2028. The news ain't never said that, right? Have y'all heard that on the news, that all these people are underwater? If you watch the news, everybody has equity, right? So There's a house near me on the market 9 months, one or two price, but no sales so far. It's unoccupied. I don't know what they're doing if there's a mortgage. These people struggling with two mortgages, right? Or you're trying to pay a mortgage and rent somewhere. I just did an article on people who are becoming accidental landlords, right? Because they can't sell right now. And where is it? They can't sell. I'm going to try to find the article. And they're turning into, let's see, boom. When sellers can't sell, accidental landlords, blink if you can see my screen, because y'all know I get to clicking and forget that y'all got to see. So y'all can see my screen, right? Yes. Blink if y'all can see it. And so what's going on is homeowners that couldn't sell are turning into renters, but now hedge funds are offloading these properties, right? Let me show you. Hedge funds, that's Invitation Homes, right? Invitation Homes, Progressive, First Key Homes. What's these other one? Triaction, something, you know what I mean? Progress, Residential, First Key, Invitation, those big hedge funds, right? So top 6 states, top 6 cities, failed listings turned into rentals. 41% year over year. These people are, I don't know, maybe just trying to cover their mortgage with rent. That's what an accidental landlord is. But also, these hedge funds are starting to sell too. So, look, hedge funds, because they're saying rental competition is increasing because homeowners are deciding to rent their properties instead of selling it. So, hedge funds are getting have some more competition, right? So, this is net selling activity heavily concentrated in 6 core markets. Acquisition means what hedge funds are buying. Disposition means what they are selling. Okay. So in Atlanta, hedge funds bought 1,602, but they sold 2,828 properties. Hedge funds are selling their properties. Now people are like, are they selling to stack cash so they can start buying when the market bottoms out? Or what's going on? But that's what these numbers are. In Dallas, hedge funds bought 2,459, sold 3,268. That's what these numbers are. The difference in what they're buying and how many they are selling. And they are selling more than they are buying. These 6 markets represent 36.8% of large institutional holdings nationwide. You guys, what do y'all think? What do you think about that? I know in Georgia, Atlanta Invitation Homes, they are some. Y'all told me it's what, Henry County, McDonough is the city in Georgia. They selling a whole lot. Go on Zillow. A lot of them are hedge funds selling off. So acquisition is buys, is what they're buying. Disposition is what they are selling. So as you can see, hedge funds are selling off their properties. And the thing with hedge funds selling, if they sell in one particular area, that can kill your property values, you guys. That can kill your property values. The lending tree announced 80 million are outstanding on mortgage. I know it's a whole bunch. You guys, the news never tells you, what's really going on. Welcome. Yes, the house in my subdivision is nice. It has a pool. It used to be an Airbnb. He has had 3 different realtors in the last 3 months. They are building new homes as well, but the crime rate increased. Y'all, it's so much going on, right? So much. It's a lot of sellers who's sitting on the market, right? Maybe you see them, you're right, changing agents, do a couple of price reductions. Then they've thrown up a bunch of apartment buildings here too, but ain't nobody renting them. Right now, these renters, like apartment buildings, are trying to retain their renters. Like one person said that they got 2 months free for rent because these apartment buildings are trying to keep their renters. So all these new buildings and apartment buildings that they're throwing up are empty. You know what I mean? I know about 3 apartment buildings that just got built, and I don't see people driving through them. I see these new home subdivisions and people aren't driving through them either. Nobody's lined up at these model homes trying to buy a property right now. Interest rates too high, eggs too high, everything just too high, and then the job market a little shaky. Like I said, at this point, If a meeting pop up on your schedule with HR, you just know what it is, right? You just better pack your little desk up, you get your plant, get your picture frames because you know what it is, right? If you get a meeting in the middle of the day with HR on it, you know what it is, right? It's probably gonna be your last day. Sounds like hedge funds are trading up to better properties. Do you think that's what it is? They're selling these lower properties and buying bigger ones? You think they're freeing up their cash? What y'all think the hedge funds do? What's the game plan? Okay, so it says, is this defense positioning temporary? One possibility, institutions may be building cash reserves to buy when markets bottom. So that makes me think, y'all think hedge funds know something we don't know? Like we about to get to the bottom of the market? What do you think? And in that scenario, accidental landlords, these homeowners, could transition from competitors to acquisition targets. So are hedge funds banking that these accidental landlords will get tired of being landlords and then they can pick their house up for cheap? Then they can swoop back in. I don't know. After struggling with property management, these reluctant landlords may become motivated sellers. Institutions would gain both leverage from distressed pricing and rental performance data to inform underwriting. I'm dropping this in the chat so y'all can read this article for yourself. You know what I mean? And talk amongst yourselves. You know what I mean? Um, did it go in? I don't know, you guys. I thought I dropped it in the chat. I don't know. But the article clearing the black swan is. Let's hope so. Yes, they expect to crash. They will rebuy after, but eventually they will learn that renting is a losing game. They're going into ETFs. And is that what y'all think they're doing? They're just cashing out on, I mean, what's his name? Warren Buffett did sell his, they're selling stock and, I don't know. So is the bottom coming? You know what I mean? Is the bottom coming? I know, you guys. I just tried to drop it in the chat and then it didn't. Oh, it's saying because it's too long. Hold on, y'all. It's saying the article name too long. Hold on. Let's see. I guess the article. Here, I'm gonna put the hold on. I'm gonna put just the recent articles, and then y'all can go look at all of them. But it was saying my article name was too long. That's what it was. Here we go. Hold on. I got y'all. Boom. 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 The thing will be at the bottom for at least year. Okay, so everybody, we'll see. So all I'm saying is you better get your coins together if something was to happen. Let's go look at our websites that we like to look at. Blink if you can see my screen. Let's look at Warren Tracker. If you're not familiar with Warren Tracker, it lets you know people who get laid off. The warning where I guess companies have to give warnings when they're about to do layoffs in their within their company. Thanks for blinking, class. So close. What is this? So as of right now, this is July 2025. California has laid off 54,000 people in California. Texas has laid off 13,562. Florida, 11,986. This site is Warren Tracker, WARNTRACKER. I know I'm a little country. Warren Tracker. New York, 10,000 employees laid off. That's another reason why people got to sell these houses. You get laid off from a job, the same job that qualified you to buy the house, and then you don't have it anymore. You know what I mean, you guys? Like, that's a quick trip to foreclosure. That's a quick way to get right on in foreclosure. Let me say that. You lose your job.